Hey, how's it going? I guess I should apologize for the hiatus there. It's been about 2 weeks since the last video, but I wasn't giving it up. That was never the intention. But yeah, I did have another project I was working on that ended up taking up most of my time. And actually, if you're curious as to what that is, you can see it on my YouTube channel. But not promising you'll like it, but it's there if you're interested. So anyway, over to this. We're back with Suited for Success, and this is episode 14. It's Rarity's first time in the spotlight. And I think I mentioned a few times along the way from episodes 1 to 13, at least once or twice, that, yeah, Rarity was not particularly impressing me. Like, I mean, she had her moments, but, yeah, she seemed to me just kind of like like a token character, like the standard attempt to cover, the fashion savvy members of the audience, just a demographic that, in my opinion, is a little, I guess, overblown in girls' cartoons. I mean, I'm not saying that no girls are seriously into fashion, but I mean, all the people I've met, friends, it's total strangers, whatever, I have seen just about nobody go on about fashion as much as the average character in what I mean, Bratz, maybe, lots of Disney shows. I've not seen that many of them go on about fashion as much as those characters typically do. I mean, it probably does happen, and I mean, it probably is a real demographic, but all the same, I do think it's a little bit of a stereotype, and I didn't think that Rarity was transcending that stereotype, I guess. I mean, I should probably give her credit that she does definitely, like, even regardless of what happens here, she's always has seemed to have her own character, at least to an extent. Like, instead of just making her, I don't know, a generic Valley Girl or something like that, they made her sort of detail oriented, sort of like really caught up and fascinated with what she can do with the appearance of something, and like really sort of someone who thinks of herself as a high class, high society. So okay, so they did give her her own character. I just didn't think it was really enough to justify this. Like, I mean, if there was, and it could be that maybe I'm just blind here, and maybe this is totally a legitimate type of individual that I just haven't met. But yeah, I didn't see it. But so okay, then that begs the question: her first time in the spotlight, did this win me over to her? Is this, put Rarity in my good graces? So okay, and the short answer is that while I don't really think the episode is the greatest the show's ever had. Like, this isn't the big blow, like, oh, what was I thinking? This is brilliant. Why didn't I see it before? I only think it's a decent episode, but it does make me like Rarity a lot better. I think this is entirely the episode she needed, and yeah, this is the first time that I really bought her as one of the heroes that one of the characters we're really supposed to get behind. And it's also the first time I really bought her as the element of generosity, because before it seemed like that was just sort of something they paired with her because they ran out of ideas. But yeah, they definitely make her generous this time, and they don't just make stuff up to do it that we'd never seen before. They sort of explore the idea of how the way she's detail oriented, the way she gets caught up in this stuff, and is also what enables her to really see what would make a good gift, to really see where someone is in need, and to then, I guess, really get caught up in the idea of filling it, to really enjoy that idea, and even to want to see somebody made happy by that need filled. So, okay, so it worked. It definitely made me like her this time around. Okay, so anyway, the episode starts out. Rarity is making herself a new dress for this ball she's really excited to go to. That I mean, I guess is the same one from before. That we had an episode where Twilight got 2 tickets to it, and then at the end, because she couldn't decide which friend to share it with, the princess gave her one for everyone. So I mean, I guess this is the same thing and the same event. So okay, Rarity's making herself a dress for that, and then Twilight comes by with Applejack, and I forget why Applejack's there, if she was just dropping something off, but Twilight wants Rarity to sew a button on her old dress, and then Rarity, because she's caught up in the importance of fashion, sees it. I mean, it's an old dress. I mean, I don't know how you judge fashion for ponies, like what's good, what's bad, but anyway, she I guess wants Twilight to be able to make the scene in something a lot better than that. So she quickly volunteers to make her a brand new dress that Twilight assume like doesn't is reluctant to agree to because she thinks that's going to be a lot of work. But Rarity actually kind of wants to do it. She is really almost excited by the idea of being able to do this for Twilight. That and is applying her skills to fill a very, I guess, what in her eyes is a very real need. So she insists. Twilight relents, and then in fact like I said, she wants to do it. So she takes one look at Applejack and kind of figures that she'll need one too. And Applejack confirms that she's like, "Oh, I don't have a dress. I was just gonna wear my old work clothes," which and Rarity almost begs her then to let her Rarity make Applejack a dress. So again, what she finally does to convince her, she says, "Well, what if I just spruced up your old work clothes?" Which spruced up means make a new dress, but okay, Applejack agrees to that. So anyway, then Rainbow Dash crashes through the roof into a pile of fabric, and she gets up wearing, I guess, an impromptu robe, and then Rarity, that's all the inspiration she needs to get the idea, hey, I should make everybody a new dress in this episode, and that'd be a great event to do for my friends. And then which let me see, but in return, what she comes up with is they can all put on a fashion show for her to show off what she's done, drum up business a little bit. But I mean, and that's barely a thank you, though. That's not like really even much to ask on her part. That's almost an afterthought. That's just something else they can do to have some fun with this, because I mean, they establish up front that this is going to be a lot of work for just about nothing in return on Rarity's part. But everybody keeps asking her, or at least Twilight and Applejack keep asking her, "Are you sure? Are you sure it's not going to be too much work?" And which of course means that it is, but because they keep building it up. But anyway, she takes to it, and they kick off a montage where they reword that song from Sunday in the Park with George, if you've ever seen that, putting it together, which this time about dressmaking and okay, so well played, My Little Pony. But so happens I too have some acquaintance with musicals. Okay, I digress. But anyway, Rarity, she actually gets the first batch done, no problem. I mean, it takes some work. She gets into it. She gets the project done as she planned and shows the dresses to everyone. And I guess they were a little disappointed. I mean, again, I can't tell what makes a good outfit for a sparkly pony, but apparently, they actually, as it turns out, what they had in mind from what we see down the line in this montage is more like just goofy superhero costumes, or I mean, just costumes that make their sort of, I guess, design. I mean, they already have My Little Pony designs, they're sort of frou-frou designs, and they want outfits that make that even more so, like even more over the top. That just like, I mean, Applejack wants work boots and overall dresses, however that works. And Twilight, she wants something with like all the constellations on the dress, and and the only one that actually there is one spot where they differentiate from that. Fluttershy's problem is that she's actually, I guess, knows more about this than Rarity. Even she starts nitpicking every little detail, and Rarity is then forced to do a lot more elaborate work. But I said nitpicking. I mean, they don't just start criticizing right away. They try to be nice about it. They try to say, "Oh, good job, really nice," the first time around. But Rarity can tell right away that they're disappointed, so she has to drag it out of them, like what they really think. And so then they finally tell her, but then they do sort of start to get into it a little too much, just like overdoing it. And I mean, the idea is that they don't know what they're talking about. They are just getting excited about the idea of overdoing just one notion that they like. They don't know how give and take goes, I guess. But anyway, and you can see the end product. I mean, I guess the one thing I can tell is that the finished product that actually makes them happy is not very good. It's what it actually looks like is the clothes and accessories for pony toys that if you ever had a little sister probably ended up in the corners of the hallways all bent up and ripped. So the corner of the hallways or the rooms all over the house when she bought them. So yeah, just as cheap, just as unnecessary looking. So okay, so I mean maybe that's a jab at the older My Little Pony. I don't know, but anyway, so okay, but Rarity presses on anyway. She makes it for him, I guess, just to make them happy. And even though this is no longer really a craft, it's just throwing unnecessary stuff together. It takes even more work now because it's still a really specific idea that they haven't. They keep putting her through the ringer to get this right and that right, and all for naught. So okay, but yeah, she gets to the terrible dresses. All the friends are happy. But then, I mean, to make matters worse, Spike has gotten in touch with a big shot fashion critic who is going to come to their fashion show and, review their attempts to get this to put on a show. And I mean, his word could really affect how Rarity's business comes out. So yeah, now she's scared out of her mind, but she doesn't try to stop them from going out in the terrible dresses. She lets it happen. She just, I guess, tells herself that, okay, it made my friends happy. It should make other people happy, other ponies happy. But, okay, so, and I mean, like I said, I said I didn't buy Rarity as the generous one before, and now it's like she's trying to kill herself to prove me wrong. So, okay, I'll give her credit. But, if it, yeah, make her stop drilling herself into a hole. But, okay. But yeah, they get the fashion show started, and it's pretty much the reaction you'd expect. It goes as badly as you'd expect. They take the stage, everybody just kind of stares at them in disbelief, and like after a moment or two, they get it. They realize that okay, yeah, we messed up, we overdid it, and the fashion critic, he turns out to be a very annoying character. He talks in that really exaggerated voice of a pretentious critic who is, I mean, he says stuff a critic would say, but he still just makes me completely, run out of patience for him in the first sentence, but anyway, everybody except Spike realizes what's happened. Apparently he's hard of hearing because after the show's over and, nobody's said anything nice, he's just like, what are you waiting for, Rarity? Come on out and take a bow. Come on, show him that you're responsible. So, I mean, she is then forced to take her moment of shame in the spotlight. So much. Okay, yeah, a little heavy-handed there, but okay. Then yeah, cut to a few weeks later, she still won't come out of her room, and we revisit the idea of how Rarity can be really funny when she's over the top, when she's under pressure. She's in a robe and slippers going on about it. Oh, just leave me alone to wallow in my, I don't even know what ponies are supposed to wallow in. I'm so pathetic. And I mean, just the sheer timing of it is really funny. It's just really, clever, over the top. It's sort of burlesque, I guess I'd say, and not the definition you're all probably thinking upon hearing me say that word, but, no, it's a style where, it's, you take something that would be serious and just you make it so exaggerated that it's just silly. It's practically a parody of what it's looking at. So it fits on Rarity really well. Just, that over the top sort of thing. It's pretty fun. So okay, and now for the payoff where the others just decide to set out and make it right, and that's pretty standard. First they go back to the dress that Rarity was making at the beginning of the episode, and they finish it for her with Fluttershy's help, which, I don't know if Fluttershy is supposed to be good at this or not, because after all the nitpicking, her dress, it was the same as everyone else's, same problem. She thought a bird's nest on her head was okay, so wrap your head around that. Imperfect stitches are bad, but a bird's nest on her head is okay. I guess they didn't want to complicate it too much, just, no, when they all go out, the problem is the same across the board, but, No, that really doesn't make any sense though for Fluttershy. But okay, but no, she's good at this again when she goes to help finish Rarity's dress. So they do that. They have the usual fake out where Rarity's like, "Oh, no, I don't like it. I love it." So, I haven't seen that 100,000 times, but okay, so they do that, and then they also convince the fashion critic to come back and review their show with the dresses that Rarity made the first time. I guess the ones that had she actually did think were good. So okay, and of course this time he loves them, and I mean the show number 2 is nice and cheesy, nice and the top's like, oh man, I definitely, after Applejacks, I definitely have a craving for some apple cinnamon and spice. I won't go too far before I say something I regret, actually, because this guy really annoys me. But okay, it's silly, and I mean, whatever, but that's fine. So okay, and so yeah, he changes his mind. He orders a whole ton of stuff from Rarity, almost more than she can handle. So one last gag, she has to do all sorts of around the clock work again. But okay, and so yeah, the moral is don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, I mean, lots of horse puns in this show, but okay, it's a good moral even so. I'll give him that. And then also the moral about not biting off more than you can do, not trying to please everybody, just come hell or high water, because I mean then you could very well end up pleasing nobody. It's just probably not worth it. So okay, good pair of morals, and good first outing by Rarity in the spotlight. Well, she shared the spotlight before, but no, good first solo outing in the spotlight. So okay, but otherwise, like I said at the top, I think this episode it's decent. It's certainly not bad. I mean, it's not even the weakest one we've had so far. It meets the show's standards, nice and perfectly well. It's perfectly solid. I guess I've said most of what I liked about it. I mean, the taking the song from Sunday in the Park with George, that was a very nice touch. I appreciated that. Like I said, Rarity is really good. They have a couple of funny gags. I mean, I think mostly from Rarity. I mean, I'm already trying to think of what Pinkie Pie had to say this episode, but no, I think it was Rarity who was mainly the funny one this time. And they did have kind of an odd gag where the first show, the fashion critic says the outfits look like a pile-on of everything but the kitchen sink, and then Rarity sheepishly hides the kitchen sink behind her bag. I mean, I don't know what that has to do with. I mean, it's kind of a confusing joke, but okay. Anyway, though, so yeah, okay. The problem though, I don't think fashion shows are that entertaining. I mean, they do. Great, you're not supposed to, I guess, think that's not supposed to be the whole point. The point is, I guess, Rarity's character arc and what she puts herself through to make her friends happy, how she's, so intent on filling this need that, I mean, she almost hurts herself to do it. But I mean, when that's not what they're focusing on, what you're supposed to get behind the outfit show, and like how, the girls are all excited to show off their new outfits, how they're excited to strut their stuff, show the glamour. I mean, that's basically what fashion show number 2 is, and I mean, fashion show number 2 is so cheesy, but I mean, it is kind of fun for that, but it just, but it's not supposed to be just cheesy, and I mean, and it is to me, and I mean, I don't want to be like insecure in my masculinity, like, no, not fashion, no, give me football, give me wrestling, give me Vin Diesel. I don't know, but it just isn't much fun for me. I don't know what to say, but okay, and I guess that was kind of my problem with Rarity in the first place. I mean, I don't know what's supposed to be, like, even in the sense of, whatever people do find really fun about fashion, if there is something to bring to life there, I don't see it here. I don't see what I'm supposed to get behind. Just it's kind of dull to me, but okay. And it's pretty important in this episode, so I mean that's that's not like the race in the last one, the Iron Pony competition. That I could really see what I was getting behind, or I mean even Twilight and Twilight's first sleepover with Applejack and Rarity. I mean that was in many spots that was adorable. So and Twilight was over the moon to be in her first sleepover. So there I could also see what I was supposed to get behind. Here, I mean I certainly behind Rarity, but I mean the activity they're doing, I'm just like, yeah, okay, just sort of zone out until that's over, which, yeah, well, not entirely, that's not totally fair, but like I said, just not the most fun I could have asked for, so, it's only a decent episode to me. I mean, maybe I'm not being fair, maybe it could have, done something else to push it over the edge, but that's just how I feel, so, okay, but like I said, does not mean it's bad, it's not, I mean, a couple of episodes have made me question, yeah, if the show has what the show's weak points are before, but I mean, this doesn't really even do that. It's perfectly fine. So, okay, and yeah, still going strong. Okay, so the next one is Feeling Pinky Key. Yeah, it's called. So, I guess Pinkie Pie episode, and which that sounds promising. I think that yeah, her last one with Field of the Griffin was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think that's all I have to say about this one. So yeah, decent episode. Great showing for Rarity. Definitely the one she needed. So okay, that's pretty much it. Take care.